just by chance, I happened across TV series called Sex Education. Never seen it before, and I just thought, you know what? I've got a few serious films I intend to watch, but I wanted something a bit light-hearted, really, something a bit silly. So I thought, I'd see how this goes. I've been hooked. It's been great. It's been a bit embarrassing things for people, but overall, it's just been. It's like a coming of age thing, and it's really good. Um, but there's certain scene that happened where one of the characters had to. Well, they were asked to meet one of the other's parents for the first time, and unfortunately, I can't show it here because it just goes like I think it does that copyright thing where it blacks out the screen.
The sex school.
All it does
Oh,
is it
excuse
shows
me,
the
young man.
trailer here.
What can you tell us about last year's chlamydia outbreak on campus?
But just to really focus in, there's a certain scene where they meet the parents, but the problem is the parents were incredibly rude to the other person, and that triggered something in me because I'm quite snappy. I do not put up with disrespect. I won't allow it. And it's like in that situation, it's really uncomfortable because, like with me, I'd naturally aware that it doesn't just affect me. Like if I'm rude and I'm like direct, I know it doesn't. I can deal with the consequences on me, but I reckon how uncomfortable and how maybe long term damage it could do to your relationship, and at least your partner. So there is a level of do you bite your tongue, but I could only hold back slightly. I couldn't. So the way the woman, like the mother, was looking at this girlfriend, it was like she's looking at her really rude anyway. You can see she's opinionated, and I thought I would immediately think, right, if you don't like me, I don't like you for starters. So like, if you're gonna go down that road, and if you're gonna be patronising, and have some weird mannerisms, and it's quite obvious you're being rude, then I would be so blunt with people because I'm not here to impress anyone, And I know how comfortable it can make things, but I'd just rather be direct to the point. There's no point. I don't like coddling things. I don't like that. I'm not going to expect. Effectively, if you're going to do it there, you're going to do that for the rest of your life. Are you going to let people disrespect you for the rest of your life because you don't want to cause a scene? I'd rather just cause a scene early. And I would just make it clear that it's quite apparent we're not going to get along. This isn't going to work out, this situation. Um, you know, if you're in a relationship, for instance, you'd say, I love this person, but the way you're behaving, I don't respect that at all. And I'm not going to waste my time in this situation. Um, if you're going to disrespect me at this level, then it's no point. There's no point me continuing to be in this situation. And I say I'm going to leave. And I would do the same in a freaking a job interview, for instance. If I'm not wasting my time, time's too short. And the other side of that, of course, is it's a lot of people have trouble standing up to their family, and I have no trouble standing up to my family. So if the shoe was on the other foot, for instance, and I recognise someone was being disrespectful to my potential suitor, my potential partner, I would speak up on their behalf anyway. They wouldn't even need to do that. I would be straight away on people. They had disrespect, and I think it's like a lot of time people don't do that. They're scared. They're scared to rock the boat. So if they won't do it, I'll do it. I'll do it. That's really a part of the problem with me is I'm too direct. I can't lie. I don't like lying. I don't like being a false representation of myself. I don't like adjusting myself to fit in. It's either you like me for who I am, or we don't get along. And I think that's the only option you have. It's the only option you have. As long as you come at me honest and you're not disrespectful, then you can get along. But yeah, I don't put up with disrespect at all, and I would be. I'll be their worst nightmare, to be totally honest. It'd be like, this isn't going how they planned because, in some situations, they want to put you on the back foot. And like I say, I've said in the past that if the shoe was on the other foot, for instance, if it's my daughter, I'm not here to interrogate someone. I'm not here to judge someone. You see that too often, I know it's only a TV show, but it's representation of reality, isn't it? This poor girl, she's got no parents. She's living in a caravan while she has to attend high school. I don't know if it's sixth form, struggling with bills. And it's like at that age, you shouldn't even be worrying about those things. And yet she's meeting this family. She's feeling uncomfortable. She's not being made to put at ease. And they're talking up all their situations. And then they ask them about their family. And it's quite obvious. If you say your family are dysfunctional or you've been abandoned, they're going to look down on you. And it's like, how can that be a representation of you, though? But they knew, and eventually that person actually left. They actually just walked out the back door and didn't return. I thought, well, good for you, really. But I would rather just leave by the front door, and show them, really, because I'm not going to have someone disrespect me. If you're going to disrespect me in my face and you think I'm not recognising it, I'm going to. I don't give a shit who you are. Don't care the person's status. Don't care none of that. And the reason I talk about this is I want to empower people really to do that. It's about standing up for yourself. You shouldn't have to. You see it all too often with these situations where you're in relationships and then you have to go and visit the parents, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, and then you've got to behave a certain way, and you've got to like it's all fake to keep up an image, and it's like, well, what is the point of keeping up a fake image? You know, if you can't get on with people, then it's fine. I think you just accept it. You know, it just means that maybe sometimes when that person visits their family, they just go on their own. Okay, you go on your own. You just go and spend time with them. It's like no one's saying you can't spend time with them, you know. But we're not going to pretend to play happy families here when they were rude to begin with. You know, and it's like you can seem the bad guy because you're being honest, but it's like people don't have to be rude to begin with. And at the end of the day, they're the ones that hold the upper hand to begin with because you're the new person entering. It's up to people to make you feel welcome and comfortable, you know. And if they can't have the decency to do that, then they don't deserve your time anyway. So in all honesty, I would really struggle to bite my tongue with bad people. It would eat at me that I'd even have to consider being holding back. In all honesty, but because of you want to respect your person, it's like that would be the only thing tying me back. If it wasn't for that, I would just let loose. I would let loose. I'm not here to impress no one. And that's the other thing as well. This person, she had like this. People don't realize this. People get attracted to authenticity. So when someone stands out as being themselves, you really gravitate to that. So this character was more of like a punk person, which was just different to everybody at school. But she actually, for that reason, she stood out because she was just being herself. And you're thinking, that's what attracts people. These carbon copies, no one gives a shit about this. You had this cool girl who just kept treating everybody horrible. And you're like, that's not even attractive at all. Like, why do people put up with that? And why do people like gravitate around it? It's like, it doesn't make sense to me because that is not the person that, if I'm looking at where you would naturally gravitate to, that's not someone I would gravitate to. That's a horrible person. But the person who's themselves, you can relate to that. So when she met the family, for instance, she literally changed her entire look to try and look comfortable, but she didn't look herself. And it was like, I found that quite frustrating because I think you should meet people as you are. And it's, again, up to people to accept you for who you are. And if they can't, then there's a problem, you know, and that's their problem. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to empower people really to just like be yourself. And if people can't handle it, then don't keep yourself in situations that are, you know, don't serve you any purpose. But it doesn't mean you have to end a relationship just because a family have got an attitude, you know, because that doesn't serve anyone a purpose. But it's not for you to sort of tell people you can't see your own family, but it's like, I just won't be there. You know, it's like, it's best because otherwise it's just going to kick off every time, isn't it? Because I'm not going to do a pretend smile. I'm going, I can't do that shit. Life's too short.